If you're moving to North Georgia and considering Jasper, here's what usually surprises people. Jasper isn't just a small town in the mountains. It's a place where your day-to-day routine is shaped how close you are to the main routes, how often you actually use downtown, and how quickly outdoor access becomes part of your normal week. In this video, you'll get a real feel of what it feels like to live in Jasper, where people grab coffee, go to dinner, run their errands, go for groceries, how neighborhoods are laid out, compare that lifestyle in those different neighborhoods, and what growth is actually changing in the area currently. Loving what you're seeing so far? There's so much more to discover about Jasper and other amazing communities around Metro Atlanta and the North Georgia mountains. So if you're new here and thinking about making a move, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a video packed full of local insights. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, whether it's a move in 9 days or 90 days, reach out to me or my team. All of our contact information is in the description. The first thing that helps people understand Jasper is seeing how it sits in the region. Because Jasper is one of those places where geographically it isn't a side detail, it's a framework. Jasper sits at the southern edge of the North Georgia mountains, and you can feel the terrain shift sooner than you actually expect it when you're driving up from Metro Atlanta. So sometimes you'll hear Jasper called the first mountain city. And whether you use that nickname or not, the point is practical, that this is where the scenery starts to change, the roads start to feel more like mountain oriented, and the North Georgia atmosphere becomes part of the day-to-day environment. Even the temperature starts to get a little colder, even in the summer. At the same time, Jasper isn't disconnected. A big reason it feels so functional for many relocating here is Highway 515, also known as Zell Miller Parkway, because it shapes how people move between Jasper and the bordering metro services to the south. It also connects north towards LJ and deeper into the mountains like Blue Ridge and other areas. Here's why that matters. In Jasper, your experience often changes more based on how quickly you can connect to 515 than people expect. Two homes can look similar in photos and even similar in price, but one feels 5 minutes to the highway and others feel like it's a decade to get there. As you're deeper into the mountains and the roads are tighter, you'll feel differently during the weekday, and your schedules will be different as well. Just to be able to pop down in downtown could be a lot of time difference. It's not that it's good or it's bad, but there's trade-offs when you're living in the mountains. All right, so we're going to the Google map. As you can see, Atlanta is right here. And literally you go from 75 to 575, and that turns into 515, and we arrive in Jasper. So Jasper, we even have a Chick-fil-A, brand new. We have our Publix here. We've got Kroger here. We have an Ingles. But if we go over here, you will see the downtown Jasper. We will turn our layers on so we can see the satellite. And really the heart of Jasper is right in this little road section right here. So most of all the shops, restaurants are facing into the main street here. And then you'll have some restaurants that are kind of further off over here and on some of these back streets. And then Communities like Big Canoe would be going around to Burnt Mountain. And we also have some historic places like the Woodbridge Inn and Tavern here. And if you're looking for your regular restaurants, you would come back here, back to 515. And here's your Home Depot. And we have just your regular from Zaxby's to Dairy Queen, all these different Mexican restaurant here. I know there's a great Chinese restaurant here as well. And then as you go up, there's the Culver's, Panda Express. There's your Walmart right here, and even Captain D's. We've got a lot of development that's occurring right in this area. Pulte Homes is building a new development here. You've got some developments that are approved here as well. If you keep going up 515, you'll eventually get up to Ellijay and then eventually to Blue Ridge. And this is kind of your gateway into North Carolina, to Hayesville and Murphy. If you like to go to the casinos, there's some casinos up here, and some great water rafting as well as you're going back into the North Carolina areas. So position ourselves back over here to Jasper. You're not too far from Canton. Ball Ground is a great little area as well. It's just as small as the Jasper area. Canton's going to have more restaurants and more shopping, so you're not too far from there. Same thing as Ellijay too. So you're kind of really putting a nice little area where Jasper is. To understand Jasper quickly, start downtown, because downtown answers a lot of practical questions that relocating buyers always have. Will I actually use this town, or will I be constantly driving somewhere else just to do anything enjoyable? Well, it's a great question. Downtown Jasper is compact enough to be really simple, and that's a big deal. You can park once and do a small loop and go through the whole entire town, kind of design that supports repeat visits instead of one-time novelty. For breakfast, lunch, the Carriage House is kind of a spot that fits into real life. It's a routine place, something you can do on a weekday without making a big plan. And those routines, places are exactly how you want to feel in a new town. For dinner, you have Last Catch Seafood, which is an example of a sit-down option in town, which matters because it helps Jasper feel complete. People relocate to mountain edge markets often worry that they'll have to drive down south towards Atlanta to dine, and this reduces that friction. For something casual and easy, the downtown mix, you have the Tequila Bar and Grill is one of the downtown options many people use for weeknights. For Mexican, especially if you want street tacos and a solid margarita lineup, their recent posts have highlighted street tacos specials and new menu items like grilled tostadas, and there were reviews about their outdoor seating and cocktails as part of the experience. They also update their name from the previous LC branding, which is why you may still come across older names in a fewer places. And then we have the traditional Woodbridge Inn and Tavern that gives you a different vibe entirely. It's historic building, and it leans more on the intimate, which is more if you have visitors or if you have a client dinner or something slower like an engagement without leaving in town. You also have the small downtown shopping like the Woodbridge General Store, and those kind of places make downtown feel lived in rather than just decorative. When you have to relocate to places, you browse without thinking about places that help you feel connected. We have the town's coffee and brewery layer that's a lot about the daily life, because those places become a third space in your life. They're where people meet and you take a break from work or home, where you see a familiar face, where you feel like you belong way after you move here. Red Bean Craft Coffee is a downtown routine spot as well, kind of place that fits more into the morning schedules and midday breaks. If you work from home or if you're building a new routine after relocating, having a reliable coffee option in town helps the days feel just normal, no matter what's happening in your life. Pendley Creek Brewing Company is more of an evening and community layer. Breweries in small towns like this act as a casual living room for the community, and that's why they matter. They create a reason to linger in town longer after work, and they create casual social moments that require no planning at all. And the Old Mule House adds the weekend plan, energy, food, cocktails, live music, and downtown setting, so Jasper just doesn't feel like it shuts down after dinner time. Daily life isn't made up of big attractions, it's made up of small habits, and those habits are often what makes you feel like a new place to make it feel like home. Lolly Drop's Sweet Shop is kind of a downtown stop that becomes part of an after-dinner loop, especially if you're already walking around town. And the Lunchbox Cafe and Bakery fits into the practical daytime routine, breakfast, lunch, pastries, so it becomes a default option between errands. Now, outdoor access is one of the biggest reasons people consider Jasper. Because the scenery isn't something you drive towards occasionally, it can be part of the normal week. Jasper has city parks that are part of everyday life. It's walking paths, athletic fields, playgrounds, pavilions, which means it supports real routines for a weekday walk, a weekend morning, or a place to stretch your legs without turning the whole day into a hike. Then you have Eagles Rest Park on Mount Oglethorpe, which is a signature scenic reset. The overlooked decks and trails give you a panoramic view, and the reason that matters is simple. It changes what a normal weekend can look like here. Jasper is served by Pickens County School System, including Hill City Elementary, Jasper Middle School, and Pickens Junior High School, and Pickens High School. There's also Chattahoochee Technical College, Appalachian Campus, which is in Jasper, which adds local career and technical program options. Now, healthcare is always a big question, especially if you're someone that's older moving to the Jasper area. Well, one of the anchors in Jasper is Piedmont Mountainside Hospital along Highway 515. For many relocating buyers, that really matters. Healthcare access is one of the biggest reality checks in the mountain edge markets. When a hospital sits along the main route you're already using, it reduces that feeling that you're too far out, and it helps that Jasper feels like a complete community rather than a scenic town. Piedmont Mountainside also is a tiny remote clinic that's a 62-bed non-for-profit hospital with 24-hour emergency department, intensive care, and a range of medical, surgical, and diagnosis services as well. Even if you rarely think about healthcare today, having that level of facility in your town changes how far out Jasper feels once you actually live here. With that, we've got several communities. Summit at Gateway represents Jasper's newer, more predictable category. If you're relocating and you want a clear transition, newer systems, modern layouts, and a straightforward neighborhood feel, this is the kind of community that tends to land on the short list. Builders and style matters here because they affect lifestyle. This community is associated with Smith Douglas homes and is marketed as craftsman-style homes, which usually means more of a uniform streetscape and more lock-and-leave feel than large lot neighborhoods. In this category, amenities tend to be simple but useful: green space, sidewalks, dog park, and small gathering area. Things that make life just a little bit easier to settle and meet neighbors without needing a full resort style package. Price-wise, you'll see these homes in Pulte's building and neighborhood as well. You're going to see those in the 2s to 3s and eventually into the 4s. The lifestyle impact is that it's simple, more traditional home building, and you're going to be closer in town, and you're not dealing with a long project list of maintenance and repairs because these are new homes. Maybe a better option than being off to one of these neighborhoods where it may take you 15 to 20 minutes just to get to 515. Second kind of neighborhood would be kind of like Jordan's Crossing. It's kind of a different experience. It leans towards more of the established and tends to feel more like a traditional residential neighborhood where the home size, the setting is quieter, more settled, older trees in the yards, more separation between homes, that you're still that true neighborhood feeling that you would have gotten maybe in Metro Atlanta with your track builders, but just spread out just a little bit. Those homes are going to range within the 400s to 600s, and it really comes down to size, finishes, and upgrades in the homes. Sometimes some people are still living in the same home as when they were built and have upgrades. So your fully renovated homes, those are going to be significantly priced higher. And these neighborhoods are also going to be closer to downtown and closer to 515 as well. Next are our large neighborhoods. So Big Canoe stands alone as one of the largest resort style golf communities in the Jasper, and it also goes into Dawson. So price wise, then Big Canoe homes can go from the little cottages, cabins from 300s to over $1 million, depending on the view. There's some homes that literally have views of mountains for as far as you can see. And those views are worth significant for those that are looking to get away from Metro Atlanta and to be able to wake up and drink some coffee and just overlook and see the natural beauty of the mountains. And especially if you can get the mountains and the Big Canoe Lake, those are almost priceless when it comes to your homes. Big Canoe has just unbelievable amenities, like a water slide in a stream that looks like it's all natural, just unbelievable clubhouse, golf, pickleball tournaments, all kinds of clubs and things to do, great restaurants kind of nestled around it as well. Now, one negative though is your HOA fees are very expensive. Your initiation fee is going to be expensive in Big Canoe as well. And you really have to be prepared to be willing to accept very curvy roads, no kinds of guardrails to keep you in. And at night, there's not a lot of lights, not any street lights. So driving there at night can be a little dangerous. And so you really kind of maintain life within that development. You don't really want to go out to downtown Jasper or anywhere else and do that on a daily grind because it takes you so long to get into the community. Some people, it may take them 20 minutes inside the community just to get to the gate. And then you're talking another 15 or 20 minutes to get outside of the Big Canoe development to actually get to your grocery stores and additional restaurants or any kind of civilization as far as a local downtown. So You have to plan your grocery trips. You have to plan what you plan to do to eat for dinner. You don't do a lot of last minute things. You will typically find a lot of people that go to the clubhouse to eat, and they have routines with other families that live there in Big Canoe. Now that lifestyle for some people is tremendous. That sense of unity all together is really cool and they love it there. But I have driven people up to Big Canoe and literally they're looking all the curvy roads and they stop and go, nope, this is not for me, or they get car sick from it. And so Big Canoe, an amazing development, amazing community, but it's not right for everyone. So Bent Tree is another private mountain community in Jasper that often compares but feels different than Big Canoe. Bent Tree is commonly described as a 110-acre lake with 18-hole golf course with additional community amenities like pools, tennis courts, pickleball, and trails. The lifestyle is different because Bent Tree feels more club and lake centered, where weekends often revolve around just lake and golf and the core amenities, while still being contained within its gate. The square footage of homes and the types of homes are very similar. Most people either want the mega lifestyle of Bent Tree and the prestige that neighborhood without paying the additional HOA fees that Big Canoe requires. And, Big Canoe is like your higher tier, larger community, more home, more activities, larger amenity packages. And Bent Tree is kind of just slightly under that. For some people, they go to Bent Tree and they love that little smaller but still very large neighborhood. But the Big Canoe is just way too much for them. And it could be not even a financial difference. It's just some people want a large neighborhood, but not one to that level as far as Big Canoe. Either way, both are amazing options and great communities. I have so many clients that just love them. They would never, ever leave these neighborhoods. When you put Jasper together as a full picture, it comes down to balance. You're getting mountain edge scenery, gorgeous, breathtaking views. You're getting more room between homes, especially if you're going to those larger established communities. And you're got great access to 515. You are near some of the best hospitals and doctors in the state and maybe even the world. But yet you got this small, quaint downtown area that almost that Mayberry feel, where you feel like that you are able to be a part of something without having 100 to 200 people being a part of that same walk and life with you. You're going to have less traffic. It's going to take you 45 to an hour and 10 minutes to get to the Atlanta airport. Your commute into Metro Atlanta is going to be longer, but you willing to kind of put that off to a side to get back to some of the things important to your life, to be able to see the stars at night, to look at a mountain view with so few homes built on those mountains. So you're not seeing a bunch of lights, not a bunch of street lights. So if you're okay with just sitting back and letting life kind of travel at a little slower pace, then living in North Georgia mountains and living in Jasper is where you want to be. It's just a different lifestyle. And it's not for everyone. But if that's the feel that you want, then Jasper and several other of the communities in this North Georgia mountain area is perfect. And if you're kind of deciding where you want to move into the mountains and whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, reach out to me and my team. We specialize in mountain living, and we also specialize in metro living too. So we can kind of show you the best of both worlds and let you determine what's best for you and your family. And we love to educate our clients, and that's why we have these YouTube videos and all the other social media that we put out, is because we want you to make an educated decision when you purchase your home. Hey, if you really enjoyed this content, just click that bell and for subscribe, and you'll get automatic updates anytime our content is new and coming on YouTube.